Alright, and we're back for episode 3 of our Babylon adventure. We have done something aesthetic, not quite sure what. Trade routes are being blocked. Can't sell marble to the Hittites. Wonder who's blocking that. Got, these people are a little injured. Okay. Well, it looks like we've got some offers brought up.
You should listen to this.
The Nubians want to trade
This
everything.
requires thought.
I'm more interested in attacking the Hittites right now, so sure, I'm sure providing them with,
This
you know,
works.
iron and horses isn't too bad. What could go wrong? What is this? Heads up marker. Everyone. Okay, this is... Hittites have a special interest. Nubians have a special interest. Oh, those are the various luxury resources. Okay. Alright, well, let's keep going. Building the stoneworks in Babylon, and then I believe... Oh, I've got Sipar started. Cool, yeah, and Sipar's setting that up. Alright, so I've got my 2 cities going, and I'm getting ready to maybe steal a third here in a moment. If we can get that war score up. Alright, let's see. I want
Debate
you...
and discussion
philosophy.
are not
Very
the
good.
pastimes of the idle, but the
So
actions
that-
of thinkers and movers
Oh, and new
who
wonders,
will touch
which I don't know if I
every
wanna do wonder
aspect of
yet.
civilization.
When I have them go back here to... Oh, actually, you can rest right here, can't you? No, yeah, let's just... No, not station. Let's not station. Alright. You can move up there. Now, if I remember right, I can go in there and maybe attack these guys to increase my war score. Alright, I think we'll just do an oh, they ran away. Even better. I got war score without any problems.
Welcome.
Their war support is
What do
really
you
high,
seek?
though. What do I have war support from? From opponent retreating. So I need to keep that going. Their demands. Oh, that's where they're getting their war score from. Okay, good to know. So I think what I might do, start moving these guys up here. Maybe pillage Masati, if I can. Alright, last their line. Troubling truth has emerged regarding the great stable megalopolis of Sipar. I don't know if it's necessarily megalopolis yet. I think it's more like 2 people, but okay. Many servants from the city's palace have been castrated at the command of the local ruler. These eunuchs are believed to be more loyal, and they are said to play a number of roles from courtier to singer to guard. What is your view on this matter? Well, I can accept, and this pushes me more towards, moves towards individualism. The right of people to castrate people is an individualist thing? Okay, that's weird. Forced labor on Sipar. I think I can afford this stability hit. Yes, I'm power gaming castration right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So no genital mutilation because I want more industry. This is what Forex games make of us. This is what we make of ourselves. Alright. I can claim a wonder. I might as well claim a wonder, and I can build it later. So, here are the options. Hanging Gardens of Babylon extracts any luxury resource from the deposit it's built on. But I think, if I remember right, it extracts it as a better version, which is good. It's like the best extractor. Pyramid of Giza. Cheaper industry cost on industrial districts. I'm not necessarily planning to go heavy on those, so I think we're going to skip that one. Stonehenge gives bonuses for co-religious states. I think that's if another state adopts your religion. Also gives some faith, which is nice, and a whole bunch of stability. Temple of Artemis, stability, faith, health regeneration. And units ignore movement penalties from forests. I think Hang Gardens of Babylon, we have to go with this, don't we? Yeah, let's claim this wonder. And I don't know if I'm going to build it yet, but it's claimed now, so I don't think anybody else can claim it, which is great. Sort of advantage over civilizations. You don't have, like, the whole, you know, oh, I've 1 turn away from building the pyramids, but, you know, Stan Babylonians built it first. Alright, anything going on that I really want? Organized warfare. I definitely want organized warfare. This allows us to use reinforcements, which allows us to have more than 4 people involved in the battle, which is huge. Alright, but yeah, I think it's actually time to do a bit of storytelling a bit. I keep talking about monsters, and I realized I didn't talk about any of the actual monsters in the last episode, and Even to build up to a monster, I've got to talk about other things first. So there's Ishtar, right? Ishtar, probably the close equivalent, if you're familiar with the Greek pantheon, would be Persephone, but that's really selling her short. Goddess of fertility, love, lust, and war. And there's a reason I mentioned Persephone is there's actually a story where she goes down to visit her sister, who's the queen of the Underworld. And as she visits her sister, she, of course, has to take her clothes off, as always happens when you visit the Underworld. You can't wear clothes. And the way she takes the clothes off and the order she does at the various gates happens to fit the funerary customs. And so basically by taking her clothes off, her, raiments and so on, she essentially dies. And so because she gets naked, she dies. She's in the Underworld. She's dead. And this is worse than just her being dead, because she's the god of fertility. And so basically in the end, people and animals stop having sex because they're so upset that Ishtar is dead. And so with that all in mind, the gods finally come up with a solution to save her. They build a golem and send the golem down to rescue her from the lands of the dead. Because, well, the golem's never actually been alive, so therefore it can't be killed. So it bypasses all of the nastiness in the land of the dead, whereas if any of the gods went down, they'd just die. Because gods can die too in this. Yeah, I need to... Oh, you're already at full health. Okay. Well, yeah, go up and check things out. Alright, yeah, and... maybe head down this way. Potentially do some pillaging there. So, that's the sort of... Oh, we're already doing some fighting. Okay. Let's do manual battle. Let's set up right here. Oops.
Off we go.
Let's see if they come up to us. Or they come to claim our territory. We lose if they stay in that zone too long. Oh, okay, they're coming up to us. Alright, but we took advantage of having the opening defense, so I think we're going to come out on top of this in mind. I think if we attack here, that's still looking better for us. He's already injured. So I think we can win this one out. So yeah, Ishtar is a big deal. Ishtar is very important. Which ties into basically two of the monsters I'm trying to get to. There's the Epic of Gilgamesh, again, the larger Sumerian region, as opposed to specifically Babylon.
No fear.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yeah, Epic of Gilgamesh. The first part, Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is this, mighty, powerful king that's so mighty and powerful that the gods themselves grow jealous and decide he's grown too powerful. Oh, only 11 turns to get the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? That is tempting. But I think I need more soldiers for what I'm doing next. And so they decide to make a foil for Gilgamesh. So they make this man who is basically Gilgamesh's clone, except they release him to the wild, where he is a master of all beasts and whatnot, can speak their language. With the idea that eventually he'll find his way to Gilgamesh and kill Gilgamesh because, there obviously can't be two of them. That would be weird. And they're going to inevitably fight. Gilgamesh hears about this powerful wild man in the woods, and so he decides, you know what? I'm going to take my best concubine and have her go deal with him. And she goes out and seduces Enkidu, the wild man of the woods, who is also Gilgamesh's god clone thing. And so they have sex a lot. It actually goes into a lot of detail about how much they have sex. And because he had sex, he's no longer a special magical virgin, and he can no longer ride unicorns, and he can no longer talk to animals. But Enkidu doesn't care. It was that good. So Enkidu then finds out about this great Gilgamesh, and he goes off to find Gilgamesh that, this woman who just seduced him told him so much about. And then, of course, they inevitably fight, and they fight for like 3 days. But then they finally get tired and decide, you know what? Hey, let's be friends too. It's also heavily implied that be friends too, like they're like in a polycule with the woman from before, and yeah, they're totally banging. It's not subtle. And so they're best friends and lovers and so on. And yeah, here we go. Let's pillage this. This should raise our war score, right? Get our people excited for battle against the Hittites. That is who we're going after, right? It's good to keep track of who we're pillaging. Yeah, there we go. 95 war support. Let's just raise that up. Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's keep these guys in reserve until we got a full unit there. So anyway, Finally, Ishtar decides, you know what, I want to sleep with Gilgamesh. He's pretty impressive. And Gilgamesh tells her no, but he doesn't actually just tell her no. He actually has a full-on diss track for her, talking about how every single man who slept with her has either gotten mad or been murdered or eaten or gelded, and she's way too scary for him. So now she's not only refused, but she's pissed. Yeah, wheel sounds good. Oh, whoa, okay. That snuck up on me. I guess we're scientists. Huh. Let me double check some things first. Because I think we do potentially want to change. But I want to make sure... Have we built one of these yet? We have not. So we definitely want to build one of these. So start building that there. You can come back to that later. Let's actually just buy it. That's great. And start building another one. Here. So that's going to be in the queue. Alright, I think as long as it's in the queue, I think we might be okay with the upgrade. Okay, so, yeah. She decides that she wants to kill Gilgamesh, but clearly that whole Enkidu plan didn't work. And so she wants to call down the Bull of Heaven from the stars themselves, the thing that could risk killing all of humanity. And the God's like, no, you can't just doom all of humanity because this one guy wouldn't sleep with you. And she says, no, you're going to let me have the Bull of Heaven, or I'm going to scream so loud I'm going to destroy the gates to hell, and the dead will walk the earth and consume the living. So they finally agree. We should probably pause here, but yeah, she's going to summon the Bull of Heaven on Gilgamesh, and see if there's anybody else that jumps out. So we were talking about doing a farming focus. And I think the farming focus means we're going to become the Celts now, which gives us huge food boost, and faith for these farms, and more food for adjacent farmers' quarters, and naked dudes, which is great. Does any of these else jump out? I do like the Mayans, but I want to do farming this time. So I think we're going to be the Celts, but I'm going to keep talking about probably Babylon for the rest of this episode. But sure, let's become the Celts. Okay.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace.
Sewage is bad.
Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggled to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability. Now you're choosing the agrarian Celts. Let's hope they learn their cooking from the French side.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're becoming the Celts. As, the Babylonians are, known to do. Sometimes it might be fun to do, like, a historically accurate progression, as much as would be possible. Alright. But yes. So she sends the Bull of Heaven out. And first she makes the arrangements to basically have everything be bountiful so humans have a huge food supply. So when the Bull of Heaven lands and drinks up entire rivers and its footsteps break the ground and cause earthquakes, the humans don't die out. Bull of Heaven shows up, and Enkidu and Gilgamesh team up to fight the bull. And they, of course, win. The problem is Enkidu lays the final blow and kills the Bull of Heaven. And basically anybody who kills the Bull of Heaven is retributively doomed to die. And so Enkidu dies. And the Epic of Gilgamesh isn't actually about... Or, like, most of it isn't actually about Gilgamesh and Enkidu, or Gilgamesh and Enkidu and their woman having all the sex. It's about how Gilgamesh deals with death. Because he finally realized in the moment that, no, he is actually immortal. He can die. I mean, not the gods can't die, but, that he is limited in what he can do. And so for the rest of the story, he goes on this epic quest to try to find a special herb that will make sure he will never die. And along the way, he's having to pass through various valleys and go where man was not meant to go. And this is what I really want to get to. He finally comes to a gateway, or to a cave entrance. To a cave cavern caverns that were so deep and so dark that there was no air in them, that you could not breathe, because the ideas of darkness and a lack of breath were tied. Which makes that cave bear encounter we had last time, or maybe the first time, really interesting to me. They didn't go into more detail with that. But I thought it was a really fun idea. I'm going to finish up that mining platform there in Spar. But guarding the Cave of Death are two Gertabilu, the scorpion demons that I mentioned before that were created by Tiamat to, kill all the gods and were utterly terrifying, but eventually got, caged by winds and nets and so on. The Gertabilu are a married couple. Like, they're actually married. Man and a woman. And Gilgamesh shows up and is terrified of them because they're these terrifying scorpion demons. And they're like, hey, don't go into that cave, you'll die. They don't actually want to, like, stop him because it's their divine mandate. They're worried that he'll get himself hurt. Because, there's no air there. You'll just suffocate. And so Gilgamesh, to bypass the scorpion demons, has to convince them that, no, I'm badass enough that I don't need to breathe for 3 weeks. And they finally convince him, but their worry the entire time is, you'll die. And we wouldn't like that. Like, that would be reckless of us to let you go into this horrible dungeon where you'll die. There's also the horrible dungeon where the sun slept during the day. So it's a very important place. But, they more were worried about Gilgamesh's well-being, which I thought was really touching and adorable, and I love the Gertabilu. And I haven't actually seen that sort of care reflected in media representations of them. Like, there's a D&D monster based on them and so on. But they're just scorpion demons, and that's way less interesting, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and pillage everything we can before we lead up to war. Okay. Religious rites. So this one, I don't know, spends money in order to increase stability in the city. That is useful, but religious districts are expensive. I think when you go personal rights.
I suppose there are some things that are
legitimacy. Codified laws.
Just imagine. Once you discover
Independent peoples,
writing,
I'll worry
you
about
can
that later
literally throw
when
the
I
book at
want to annex people. Alright, here we go. I've got my backup army. I'm getting ready for war. Oh, actually, no, I want to go there. Oh, too late. Oh, I'm going to fight. Okay. Let's do a manual battle.
Let's go!
And start up here, up high. Oh. Oh, against horsemen. This is not going to be good. Oh, they start higher. Well, I'm going to have some targets for my people here in a second. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to end well. I didn't realize I had horses. But, yeah, no, so I really like the Gertabilu. And, yeah, Gertabilu and the Bull of Heaven are two monsters that I had in my book that I sort of adapted the World of Darkness setting. Specifically the Chronicles of Darkness setting. World of Darkness gets weird with the their naming conventions. Alright, so I think this might be a stupid idea. I want to get some harbor going so I can start building ships. And what do I want here? Probably want to build an industrial district somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Plus 10? Sure. Battle? Oh, this is why it wants me to deal with independent peoples. I think we're going to try to retreat.
new independent people.
Yeah.
And who are they? Time will tell if they are helpful, helpless, or history.
Well, they did start out by attacking my scout, so I think that says something. Wheel is researched. Let's go down that way, and maybe we can deal with that injured horseman. Okay. So we've gotten a whole bunch of money off of pillaging. Let's see what our war score is like.
You have a nerve
92.
showing your...
Let me see if I can get these guys to retreat. Reduce that a little higher. Great. Oh, only 92. That's interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna declare war.
Your reckoning is...
Now, where actually is their city's up there? Okay. Let's cross over that way. Start to explore. Weave of iron and blood. In recognition of your elevated status on the world stage, a great artist has been accompanying you and your retinue as you travel the Empire and beyond. Now, many months later, the artist and their team have completed their great masterpiece, a brilliant tapestry that stretches the length of the palace. In its embroidered scenes are depicted great stories, marvelous cities, and the people's adulation of your rule. How should such a marvel best be used? Hang, get patriotic. Oh, that's really tempting. Decrease in industry or in cost. Combat strength is also really tempting. Yes, I think that it'll carry it as a banner. And Weave of Iron and Blood. This is a Song of Ice and Fire reference, right? Well, that's fun. So I'm going to share my my pet theory about Song of Ice and Fire, George R.R. Martin series. It's not really spoilery. It's borderline spoilery. But the series has been out for a while. The HBO series has been out for a while, and had a well-publicized ending. I think the whole thing is a reference to Robert Frost's Fire and Ice. Some hold that the world will end in fire, others in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire, but if it had to end twice, ice would also suffice. I forget the exact details of it. You can I can try to link to the poem. It's a good poem. But yeah, I think basically neither fire nor ice are going to end in good things in that series, and they didn't in the HBO series. We'll see with the books when they end. All right, starting to get closer. Trade routes pillaged. I'm being plundered. Where am I being plundered? I don't know. Oh, I probably should hit the focus button there. It might be these guys causing trouble down there. Alright, let's see what I've got. Alright, I want you to pillage.
Only in the mind's eye. Keep together.
Only in the mind's eye. Interesting.
Let's get out!
It's a really interesting thing for an army to say. Alright, let's keep these guys
Off
going.
we go.
Here we go.
Forward, march!
Starting to move up towards Hattusa. Let me check the time real quick. And I just had a bit of a minor panic attack there. So it's very important which order you put the clips from your recording into your video editor. Because if you put them in the wrong order, you might think that you lost 15 minutes of footage and are going to have to retell those stories, which I was fully willing to do. It was just a little bit scary at first. Alright, I think we're back. We've got a little bit of time left. I think it's time to cross the river. I know it's called the Rubicon. It's not the Rubicon, but we can pretend. Army wages. Bonus plus 50% money from ransacking. Or stability. That stability is probably going to be good long term. I guess
If
we
an
gotta
army
pay our
wants
army.
reliable soldiers, they had best
Barrack
provide a
spam
reliable
tends to be a really cheap production-wise way to increase stability later in the game, so I do want to support that. Alright, let's see. I can do hydrology next. Alright, we're getting attacked. I'm going to just do a manual battle. I don't really care as much what happens there. Okay. Oh, oops, I meant an automatic battle. Okay, yeah. This is not going to go well. Probably would have done better the automatic battle if the ground is not stacked against us. Or the ground is stacked against us. There's the high ground. Might be able to take out this unit here, though. They're spearmen. Might want to start switching over to spearmen. Although, don't we have... Yeah, we have special spearmen. We're good.
No mercy!
Let's at least make them suffer, too. But yeah, we're losing both units here. And there we go. Oh yeah, let's see. I talked about the or the yeah, Gerda Blulu. Talked about the Bowl of Heaven. What was the other two? There's the Rabasu, and then there's the favorite one, whose name I always forget. Fortunately, I can Google my own book. Yeah, Kalulu. The Kalulu are great. Kalulu are fish demons.
Your first harbor.
First harbor,
Fishing,
ran
trade,
successful.
voyages of exploration.
Yes.
You will see many things out of this tiny window onto a huge world.
Don't know if this is tiny window. I mean, a harbor's kind of... Harbors are not small. Alright, let's see. So, this one here, I think the easiest way to do this, because they've got the high ground, is that we do an automatic battle, or instant resolution. Alright, and we won. 1 unit lost, and 4 units of theirs lost. Victory. Siege at Husa. Now, if we came around the other side, I think we would have had the advantage if we did it manual, because it would just roll in. As it is, we had the terrain kind of stacked against us. Now, there's also siege weapons, which I don't believe we've researched yet, which can help reduce things over time. Alright. But we definitely have the upper hand in this war. Alright, and now I think it's time... Well, we're no longer technically the city of Babylon. Okay, what are the requirements for this? Right, luxury resource. It's going to make a better version of a luxury resource. What is this? Gives money and stability, so we might want that. This gives stability and money. Okay. Stability and industry. I think we want stability and industry. So we're going to start building the Hanging Gardens of Babylon to export marble. Alright. And we'll see how the Tusa is rebellious. That makes sense. But I can, I believe, park my people there. And that will reduce that. I can move these in to start pillaging. Okay, that's weird. Why is it? Okay. Leadership. Capital is the Empire's true seat of power, but now other cities with energetic populaces rise to prominence. Their leaders and other influential figures want sway over the Empire's affairs, and the question of who wields power must be answered. 1 city cap or plus 25 stability. I think we can get 25 stability pretty easy. Just when we start spamming stuff, city cap is
Most problems eventually yield to the onslaught of more brains.
Let's finish off this war, and I think that'll be a good place to end the episode. I think we're probably pretty near. Oh, their war support's still pretty high. But minus 16 ongoing. That's not going to last forever. Mutinous Nessa. Oh, here we go. Oh, I just conquered that, like, without a fight. Weird. I want to do a manual battle. Because I've got... I'm going to move these here and then try to snipe over my spearmen. Spearmen should be good versus horses. There we go. Oh, and they're already injured? I don't know if these are already injured from fighting my scouts. That'd be a nice point of justice. A nice choke point here. Let's see if the archers can shoot over them. Oh, I guess we'll find out in a moment. Alright. Yes, they can.
Forward!
Forward! There we go. Start sending these guys around. I don't think we'll need them. Can we actually shoot from over here?
Attack!
Wow! Okay. Well, that did it. Alright. Now we need to make our demands to end this war. And I don't even know where all these places are. So we've got 257 we can make them a vassal. Then we've got 188 left over. Or 185. Oh no, we've got 72 left over. Okay. So we could get Marsik or Imai. Where is... Okay, that's all the way up there. Oh, they want... Where is Masetti? Oh, that one right there. Well, that's already theirs, so... Okay. So I can't get MI unless I get Marsik. Let's see. I mean, I could maybe build a city up through there. Do I even want it, though? Let's just make them our vassal. Yeah, 720? Yeah, let's just do this. Alright. So they are now working for us. Oh, and hey, we do have this. Okay. Let's not give that up. Let's make that part of Babylon. Well, let's not make that part of Babylon for a while. Alright. But yeah, I'll talk more about the last two monsters next time, and probably switch over to talking about the Celts, do some research on that. That might take a little bit more, but I think this is a good point to end the episode. I've got the Gardens of Babylon brewing. We've got our first vassal.
No doubt this independent people possess sophisticated
we've got
customs,
some independent people to
rights,
figure out.
language, and beliefs.
But I think the
do
bigger
hope you're
worry
going to treat them well.
is over here in Kerma. The Nubians.
What do you want now?
Yeah, what do you want now? Well, we want everything.